Hello, folks, it's me again, rambling about different things in different languages. Uh, in today's episode, I'm going to speak English, as you might see. Anyway, today I would like to talk about my experience of being a teacher because this matter is very interesting and boring at the same time. Well, as you might know, I have started working as a teacher, and I have been working for more than a month already. Uh, yes, my work started on the 1st of September, which was a long time ago already, if you to think about it in this way. Okay, anyway, what can I tell you? Uh, First of all, I can tell you that teaching is not easy at all. It might look easy for you, maybe, but in reality, it's just a hell of a challenge in many cases, in many aspects. Okay, for some people, teaching might be easy because maybe because they have a certain talent for teaching, or maybe because they don't worry about different matters and they just do what they do. Yes, it's not my case, unfortunately, because I worry about many things and I do a lot of mistakes, and I fail a lot at many aspects, and I worry about this every day, and I think about it all the time. Probably I'm always thinking about this, and it's a good thing to do. But anyway, it's my experience. It's my way to become experienced teacher, and I hope I will be like that in the future. We'll see. Anyway, what can I tell you today? First of all, as a teacher, every class is always different, especially if you remember that you have a lot of students and different groups to study. Like in my case, I have about, well, let's say 60, 70 people who I supposed to teach. And I teach them every day. So every meeting with them is a different experience, and a lot of different things happen every time. So what can I tell you? First of all, as a teacher, you have to learn how to keep them disciplined. So that they don't talk much and they listen to you carefully, and they understand everything you say and tell and present and ask and so on. Yes, but the problem is that it's not easy at all. Students, as human beings, like to talk. They talk every time when they have any possibility to talk. They surf in the internet. They talk to each other a lot. They discuss everything just at in classes. And as a teacher, you're supposed to avoid this, to make them pay attention to you, not to the phone. How are you supposed to do this? Well, there are many ways to do this. You might get angry, just shout at them, just to forbid them to look into the phones and so on. It's the first way. Another way is to make lessons more interesting, so instead of just surfing the internet, they could pay more attention to you, just because the material is so interesting, it's so breathtaking. They just don't think about doing something else. Yes, and the second way is much more difficult, of course, and I think a great teacher can do both. Yes, the first way, shouting and forbidding and angry talking, of course, is not the best way, but it's the way that you might keep as an alternative. Yes, but you don't need to overuse it because it might be dangerous, and you might end up with bad relationships with the students, and you don't need this. At least I'm not the person who likes to shout and to get angry. I want to have this relaxing, vibe, atmosphere in classes. I don't like shouting. I don't like getting angry. I prefer making the material just more interesting, so they could uh, bring away something new about something. Yes, and also they just, I just want them to be involved at what I'm telling. But it's not easy at all. Shouting is easy. But telling something interesting and making the material much more interesting so they could listen to it carefully, it's not easy at all. It's something I'm trying to learn, and unfortunately, it's something that I sometimes, well, not sometimes, well, I think sometimes I fail. Yes, because, well, I think because of the lack of experience. So that's why I don't think about it that much. I worry. I feel worried about it, and I think about it every evening because, well, now it's part of my life. I want to make my job very well. But on the other side, on the other hand, maybe, yes, you don't need to think about too much because mistakes always happen. Mistakes are always made by people, and it's not possible to avoid them. Moreover, you must do mistakes. You must do something, and this must doing something always lead to mistakes. And mistakes are great because when you do mistake, you get experience, and next time you will know how to avoid these mistakes, and it's great. The problem is that when you start doing something new, you do a lot of mistakes. And when you do a lot of mistakes, you think about them a lot because there are many mistakes to think about so many things. Like, for example, in my case, since I'm not an experienced teacher, and when I have a huge group, like for example 20 people, for me it's a huge group, I can't control all of them. So when I have a class with such a group, I, for example, might pay attention to some people and forget about people because the first group of this class is more active. They always raise their hands up. They always answer when I ask. Yes, just because, well, because they are more communicative, I would say. They're more active. They are ready to talk. For them, it's not a problem at all. They're not afraid to make mistakes. They work well. They prepare every time, and they're not afraid to tell something. And it's great. I love such students. But as a teacher, you're supposed to work with the whole group. Yeah, and I know that there are some people who do not want to work at all. They are here at the university just because, well, their parents made them, and they had no choice at all. Other students don't like English for certain reasons. Yes, but there are students who work. They do homework. They don't miss classes at all, and they are ready to talk, but they're just afraid. They can't do this just because they're afraid. They're afraid to to look silly. Maybe they're afraid to make mistakes publicly. Yeah, and they don't interact with the teacher just because they can't do this due to some reasons. And as a teacher, I'm supposed to work with them too, but because of the lack of experience, I sometimes might forget about them. It's my problem, and I realize that I do this, and it's something I need to work out somehow. It's the first problem. Another problem might be that students might not know something, and I can demand a lot from them because, well, you still don't know how to talk them to people doesn't who don't speak English well, and you might ask too much. It's also a problem. It's also a question of experience because experienced teachers know what to do with students who don't speak well, don't know English well enough, and who do it very well. And they know how to work with both group of people. I still don't know yet. It's something I'm learning to do. Yes. Yes, of course. And also, well, I think it all what I wanted to tell you. So teaching is not easy. Teaching is a worrying thing, especially if you want to do your work very well. But despite all the bad sides I've just listed, I kind of like to do this. After all, it's an interesting work that, well, it helps you, well, let's say, it improves your communication skills both in Russian and English, and you interact with more people, you meet new interesting people, you kind of accumulate their experience, their view of the world. You will see what people are alike. You see more people, you see more different sides of something, you see different opinions, you see a lot of new things you have never met before, just because you see more people. It's great, it's amazing. Also, it's a great work just because, well, again, just because, well, let's say, you have absolutely in your timetable, you have to work out with new habits, things that you have never done before. But my favorite part of this is that you, as a teacher, you are improving your English skills just in every aspect. You get more vocabulary, get more new words, you learn how to talk like slowly, fast, and so on. You have to talk in different ways, with different accents even. Yes, that's especially amazing. Yes, and also you just because you have to check your grammar every time you're preparing for the lesson, you get more knowledge about the language. I would say you get the advanced knowledge on the language, and it's great. As a teacher, you're supposed to know the language very, very well on an advanced level. And the more you know, the better, because you never know what to expect from the students, because a student might ask something very interesting, and if you don't know what to answer, well, it's a problem. Again, in my case, I can't answer all the questions, unfortunately, and this worries me a lot. Yeah, but you have to keep going. If you don't know something, okay, next time be ready. Yes, and then if they ask something, please take some time to check the right answer, and at least answer them next time when you see them. Quite a useful thing to do, I think. Yeah. So to sum up, I can say that the job is amazing. To be a teacher, many problems occur every time, and the more I teach, the more problems I see. The problems in my style of teaching, and problems working with students, because the more I know them, the more problems I see in them, and they kind of react to my way of teaching, and I see that not all students like this way of teaching. For some students, this way of teaching is not good just because they see my lack of knowledge in certain aspects. For other students, they think I'm too kind to them, and other students think that, I don't know, there are so many things to discuss. I just can't cover all the topics right now at the moment. But anyway, to be a teacher, it's interesting, and I don't regret at all that I've chosen this work right now. So I hope to work more, to gather more experience, to gather more new knowledge about language, and to gather more new knowledge about how to work with people. It's great, it's amazing. It's cool, at least. Whew, okay, anyway, I think that's all. The episode's been a bit, nervous, because it's not an easy matter to talk about, especially on camera, because when you talk on camera, you try to think about in what way to say something, and when you think a lot, you get confused, so after all, you come up with something which doesn't sound right. But anyway, At least it's non-honest video, and it's the way I talk right now. Maybe next time my talking will be better. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for your attention. See you later. Goodbye.